first time she's ever had a bit on without her mouth being really tied shut. She's just kind of experimenting with the fact that she can open her mouth and that's in there.
You said it's called a flash?
Yeah, the strap that goes all the way around the nose band. It's an English thing.
It's like a muzzle?
Almost, yeah. Very well put.
Sounds weird.
Right, what do you think?
So, and why did they do that?
To keep them from opening their mouths, which is, it's dumb.
Some people could use that though.
I suppose. I don't know too many horses that need it though.
People that don't shut their mouth.
Well, all of those things like tie downs and martingales, any auxiliary equipment that is meant to prevent a behavior is a lack of training.
Right.
On either the part of what the horse needs to understand or how the rider's ability to correctly ride.
Right.
And so you notice that the riders at the highest levels, well, I shouldn't say that because there's riders at the highest levels that do bad things. The best horsemen don't need whips and spurs and all that kind of stuff. They may wear them as like decoration. You don't see them actually spurring their horse to get it to go or whipping it to do stuff. The stick is, I use the term stick instead of whip because I use it to touch different parts of their body for different things. But I don't use it to whip the horse to go or punish them.
Yeah.
They're not used for those two things. And that's the mistake most people make, is that they use it to try to energize the horse, or they use it as a punishment for bad behavior, and then they get worried about the whip.
Right.
And then you can't use it for the things that you need it for. Okay, so now we're gonna, you see how dead that is? Like she should have about reared over backwards.
Yeah.
Not because it was painful, but because of what a surprise that was.
Right.
She should pick up her head just like that.
Yeah.
Good girl. Excellent. Thank you. That was a little wakey moment. Okay, I know I stretched your leg and everything. One, two. Girl. Okay, your foot.
Some horse yoga.
Yes. Well, that accomplishes two things. It does stretch out the shoulder, but also if there's any like wrinkles in your girth, it'll stretch that out, where a lot of horses will get a wrinkle in the girth and get real buggered up about it.
Right.
A sensitive horse, you know, they're all suddenly, even that Arab that you said was crow hopping, and they said that was an Arab thing, it could have been something as simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing I want to do is just say hello, and when I pick up the reins, good gal. All I want her to do at this point is put her ears on me like that. Good gal. I don't want her to go anywhere.
Put her ears on you?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Put them back?
Yeah, like that. Good. Good. That is, yes.
Nice.
So now I want her to think about taking a seat. She wants to go forward. I want you to understand back up before, because I don't want to pull her mouth to achieve it. So I'm going to do it through this.
You're just lifting?
I'm lifting, and my outside hand is pushing forward this way.
Okay.
The first thing that'll happen is that it will start to mobilize the jaw.
Okay.
And she should like lick and chew and do things like that. Like that. Yeah, good gal. This is one of those things where it's hard not to want to do more, add more pressure, but this is one of those take the time it takes, and you will only have to do this once.
Okay.
So you see how long that took for her to find that?
Yeah.
If I would have started pulling on her mouth more, especially with this type of horse, she would have got really upset or angry, and I could have gotten myself in a little kerfuffle.
Right.
She's not real a bronchi type of horse, so I don't see her like going like ballistic.
Right.
But she could get real strong and real hard and do something like go. She was willing to go right through that fence.
Yeah.
Hey. So the first time I'll pop the saddle. If she ignores it, then I'll pop the top of her wither so she understands.
Right. What about that signal tells her to back up?
The lifting?
Yeah. That's it? Just the lifting?
So good. Good. So if she's in halt and I bring more to the picture, then she should back up because
by just raising it higher is what
so so now I'm just gonna vibrate that rein a little bit to see if we can get something to wake up.
So I just wanted to nice.
Okay.
So raising the reins is essentially a cue to back up.
Lifting the reins first means halt and flex downwards.
Okay.
Okay, and if we are in halt at that point and we haven't released, then that means continue.
Okay, I got you.
But I don't increase the pressure.
Right.
So try again.
That makes sense.
Good. So that was a huge difference.
Nice.
Something that's actually painful.
Yeah.
So it'll work.
Right.
But if we can do it without causing pain, it's better.
But I was gonna say what.
Oh, that was good.
Nice. He always, I think he just advocates for riding with a loose rein in general.
And so there's time for that, and then there's time for being in contact. But a horse, the distinction is that the horse is either on the aids or they're on the buckle. And if they're on the buckle, they should still be on the aids. Does that make sense?
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know exactly what you mean by that.
So
what's the buckle? I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to.
The buckle just refers to the longest point of the rein, because in English reins, there's a buckle in the middle.
Okay.
So it's just a term. So with these split reins, it would be the longest safe place. So this would be the buckle.
Okay.
So I need to have, if I'm going to ride her on the buckle, she has to respond in the exact same way as she would as if I had the reins completely collected.
Okay.
If she can't do that yet, then you can't ride on the buckle.
Right.
Because she doesn't understand.
All right.
So you can, now that, good girl. So the distinction for that one is, the exception there is if you're starting a colt, say, and you just want him to understand, not buck you off and go with you on their back,
right,
then you can put a rope halter on or nothing and get on them and just ride them wherever they go.
right,
So if they walk, trot, canter, gallop, whatever, you have to be willing to and capable of riding whatever they do.
yeah,
Now that's a really valuable tool for the first ride or two on a young horse, because they don't get worried about you pulling on their face or anything.
yeah,
But you got to be a skilled horseman to do it.
yeah,
I will do it, but I really prepare my horses. So like this horse, even though she's got a lot to learn and a long way to go, I feel like I have prepared her enough that my life is not at risk if she misunderstands something right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's many that are very forgiving and not that big a deal you can work with. But there's plenty of horses that one bad mistake can be 3 years of training, to fix.
Yeah.
Good. So I want her to move if I just ask her to go. She's been spurred, kicked, and spanked a lot by the trainers, not by the owners.
Right.
Because of her unwillingness to go forward, especially in canter. They couldn't get her to canter, so they beat the living bejesus out of her. And that's why she's so sour. So the reason she couldn't canter was because of her crookedness.
Yeah.
So I am on a pretty loosey-goosey type of rein, but I have connection to her mouth.
Okay.
If you can't feel their tongue, there's no connection. So she's so crooked that I keep having to really put weight on the inside stirrup to not slide to the outside on the saddle.
Oh.
And so I'll have to make more circles to the right than the left initially. So this feels better to me going to the left because it's more balanced. But what the horse needs is for me to help her with going to the right.
Yeah.
So the way that feels like shit is what you probably need to do.
Right.
And another thing that's really important to understand, and this is true for pretty much everything, you can't fix the thing by doing the thing. So right now, we had talked about earlier, for example, with KD being still so off in the trot. With a rider, especially, she just is. So I don't fix that by trotting with her, trotting her on the ground or trotting in a rider. The way that we fixed that was those exercises that we were doing for the hind end.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem.
Right.
The trotting isn't the problem, the trotting is a symptom. So with this horse, her issue was if she gets crooked or uncomfortable, she just doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
And so right now, all I want her to do is be willing to go forward when I ask her to go.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to keep haranguing her with my legs or anything else to go. I want her to go until I ask her to stop.
Yeah.
So if she starts to slow down, I might bring up a little activity just so she knows, oh, wait, we're not stopping yet. So she's just a little bit of a dolt in that she's willing to walk into the fence, but she backed up nicely off of that little ask and made that turn even though the fence is there. Let's try it here so she doesn't have to do it. So I'll do the same thing like I did with KD. And it's not that you have to do that forever. You see how I don't have to get to where I'm pulling on her. So I'll lift and let go, lift and let go, lift and let go. She works out. And let's come back. Nope, she still wants to go forward. So I don't want to pull, so I'm just telling her no. It's not forward. It's not forward. Yes. So that wasn't very far. That was like a quarter of a half step back, maybe.
Yeah.
But I have to start somewhere, so now I'm going to ask her again. Yes. Good girl. So especially because she is a baby, it's hard to remember that she is a baby. I have to do baby steps. And she is one that I've noticed that if she understands something, I'm not a proponent of repeating stuff 8 million times anyway, but I don't drill her at all. If she does it once or twice and I let her stop there, especially if it's something really pivotal, she has it still the next day or the next week. Nice. So I want her to think about bringing her head around, and this, again, it's not a one rein stop or there.
Just flexing.
Just a little flex. I don't over flex them. They get to where they're rubbernecked at the wither when you constantly do this. And eventually they will run away with you with their head flex. All I want her to do right now is understand that means, that's okay, follow the rein. So if I go this way, she should obviously follow that. Good deal. So now let's see if I can bring it around this way. This is her stiffer side. So
what happens when they get rubbernecked?
If you flex them continuously, like that kind of Clinton type of stuff,
yeah,
they'll get like just this rubber neck where they're broken here and they're broken here. And they'll turn their head and everything, but they can still run away with you with their head pinned like
Oh, I see.
And they don't get a full line from pole to tail, which is what you want. It should be like a bow from between their ears to the top of their tail as one thing. That's how they carry a rider. And so when we do too many of those things, we take away that bow. So I want her to step wide with this foot right here.
Nice.
Almost. She's like, well, I sort of got it.
You wanted her to pivot more?
I wanted her to make a clearer step over so this foot didn't have to cross over.
Oh, okay.
There's times for that. Yes. There.
Nice.
So you see that was a bigger step?
Yeah.
So I want ears on me. Ears, ears, ears. Good. And trot. So you see when I asked her to trot, she just sulked up like. I don't know if you could tell that because sometimes when you're filming it's hard to see.
Yeah.
So she was waiting to be spurred or kicked or something. So an up transition to her, you know, on the ground was when she'd want to charge you.
Yeah.
So now she's going to want to buck you off, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm going to exaggerate taking the legs off to get her to go. And she's speeding up, which is fine. I'll take that for now. Good girl. I'm just looking where I want to go, like, oh my God, we've got a horse emergency over there. We better get over there soon. Good girl. If I do anything else right now, though, it will be a mistake. Everything in my body wants to just be like, you know?
Yeah.
Good gal. So that's a nice big forward walk finally.
Yeah.